This is Brian, and welcome back to this commentary playthrough of Breath of Fire. There is one more thing I can pick up here, I think. Okay, yeah, it was behind one of these pillars, I know. Got another hammer, even though we just picked up a hammer earlier. Got the star hammer now. So how much is this going to raise his attack? Alright. Decent amount. But... yeah, I plan on using Agni anyway for the final battle, so... matter. And yeah, if you step on the switch there, that'll activate an elevator. Okay. Guess that's our way forward. I guess you can still go back if you want to. Is that the goddess? This looks like a normal girl. What do you want? I'm here to have a wish granted? If you say yes. Go ahead. Ask me for anything. Money? Power? Can I heal your wounds? So, yeah, she actually gives us a free heal. I think it gives us all magic back too, so... yeah, at least I guess I used a lot of my items to do my healing. I wasted all my magic items, I guess, but... didn't matter anyway. I'm pretty sure this is going to be it. And if you say no... you didn't come for a wish? Then why are you here? Why do you have your sword out? Are you ready to fight? Let's just throw some regular attacks at her first here. What's she gonna do? Doesn't seem too tough. Looks like she's crying, or what is she doing there? I'm not sure. We're doing pretty good damage, even with my magic casters. Ryu keeps slamming her. Yeah, and it kicks you out of battle automatically. I haven't done anything. Don't hurt me. I'll do anything for you. Please be my friend. Oh. Why are you treating me like this? Do anything for you. Please be my friend. Do I have to say yes? Let's be friends. Ryu, use the magic of Agni. You'll reveal her true self. I am not. I've done nothing. She'll fool you with her innocent looks. She's evil, but she'll hide it. Don't be fooled. So, yeah. It really does seem like, if you're looking at it from that way, it's like, yeah, you just got this all-powerful little girl here, but really hasn't done anything to us, so why are we going after her? Now is where I want to bust out Agni. You can do it without using Agni? I think that's what leads you to the worst, well, using Agni will lead you to the good ending. If you don't use it, you won't get as good of an ending. Because yeah, once you use it once against her, I think she transforms then. You can't challenge me to a fight. You're only humans. I'll destroy you all. don't believe this. So, yeah, that's one ugly son of a... And I'm just going to go ahead and get Agni back out again right away. Because I think now we're finally in the real fight. Big crash. That wasn't too bad. Let's just auto battle it for a little while here and see how things go. That did a lot of damage to her. Maybe she does have more than one form. Or maybe it's a thing where it seems like her... Okay. Yeah, Goddess is intrigued. At least it doesn't revert us. We don't have to use Agni again. I don't have enough magic for that. Yeah, so now we're not really going to know how much HP she has left. I don't remember if she has more forms or not. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll probably let his HP get down to like 300 or something, I suppose. I don't know if she has any, like, bigger attacks in somewhere, you know? I want to take a chance of getting wiped out. Yeah. Your 2 should be fine. But that didn't give as much as I thought it would. Now let's just use up the other one. About the melons. Maybe a cure 2 heals everybody. Maybe that's what significance of that is. I don't know for sure. Should have looked, I suppose. Yeah. Does have quite a bit of HP. Alrighty, let's go. Alright. Back out to heal a little bit again. Then I guess I'll just use M-Drop. Should give me complete healing, I think. Yeah. Does make me a little sad to see the slams in this form because it doesn't do anything extra for me. It'd be nice if they made it so that a slam in Agni did like extra damage somehow. And I really have no idea how much is left. It's just a matter of keeping going for a while here, I guess. Alright. Back out and heal again after this one. Oh, we got her. Let's go. Yeah, we still get experience and GP for that, although not much at all, minuscule amounts. Kind of weird. Usually for these games, final boss doesn't give anything like that. At least I think that's the final form, final boss. You can't win, humans. This is only temporary. I shall return. Uh-oh. Well, we can't move. Seems like the platform's falling away. Are we just gonna stand there and let it happen? It appears so. Pushing a few buttons, it's not doing anything. Nina, turn into a bird. Okay. She did. Or unless that was the rest of the people from Windia that came to save us. I don't know, they all look alike. Sarah's spirit. I'm proud of you, Ryu. Turn the tables on the goddess of destruction. You and your companions completed the mission, the legendary warriors. This is the beginning of a new legend. I have watched you succeed, so I have no regrets in leaving you. Wait. Goodbye, Ryu. You made me proud. We're a true warrior. Where's the rest of my party? Dragon Lord. You have done well. I'll remember that you saved the world. This is the beginning of a new legend. It's finally over. About time. Still much work for you. You must help those who lost much during the war. Can't we take a break? Real hero doesn't quit until the job is done. We're making history. We'll all be legends someday. That's right. Oh, don't forget, you still owe me money. Asshole. Again with the money? Is he worthy of hero status? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Let's go. Nina, we should return to the castle. The king is waiting. There's still a lot of work left to be done. Tell the king that I'll return when I'm ready. One of them want to deliver that message. So what, is it going to go on a tour back through all the towns or something? No, we're just flying over everything, kind of, I guess. I thought maybe it would have a short scene in a lot of the different towns. Okay, well, we got Magu back home, I guess. Is he the master digger now? We're gonna drop our companions off one by one, I guess. Blue's just going back to sleep. Ox is home, and it looks like his wife had the baby. Toby's going back to Prima. Picking Bo back home, I guess. Yeah. Back to Winland with Nina. I don't like the look of the salute Nina was doing there. Well, she was supposed to just be waving goodbye. Are they finally starting to rebuild the town here? People in the other town got their act together. Hamlin, was it? Yeah, they rebuilt, but the people of Drogon just seem to kind of be, I don't know, what, sitting there feeling sorry for themselves the whole game? And there we go. Credits start rolling. I guess they're going to show some of the different enemy forms there. Very slow credits. Seems kind of disjointed, or I guess maybe they just don't have that many people to list. Hell, video games these days, they'd have a rolling list of names that took like 5 minutes to get through. They have hundreds or thousands of people to list. Yeah, I didn't really like that enemy too much. Yeah, like I said, that one was a weird looking one for Jade. Saw plenty of those guys in the cave on the way to Bleak. Yeah. That was the guy by Gust, I guess. Thanks for playing. Not a sentiment you get from all games these days. It's nice they put it in there. Breath of Fire. I guess that's probably just where it's going to stay. I don't think there's anything else going on there. But yeah, it didn't take us too long to get through the end of it there today. So I'll just give a couple of quick thoughts and a little bit of a review here. I listed some pros and cons, or some things that I liked and some things that I didn't enjoy that much about the game. Overall, I do like this game. It's in the heyday of JRPGs, I think. At least if you're talking about like SNES or like maybe PS1, PS2 era. I feel like that was when they would really hit their stride and we had some of the best games going there. To start off with the things that I liked a little more. I liked that it was a pretty simple, fast getting into it kind of game, and a lot of these older ones were, but there's nothing complicated. It's a fairly typical RPG with the mechanics and everything. It's like, yeah, you have fighting, you have magic, you have different types of equipment and items to use. It's all pretty typical. They didn't go too overboard with anything like that. Didn't try to remake the wheel. I liked the battle system too. I felt like it was pretty straightforward. You did have some different options. Like one thing that I didn't utilize as much early on as I should have probably was the auto battle system. But yeah, I mean, but you were able to use items and pick your attacks, or you can use magic and all that. That's pretty simple and standard also. But it was pretty fluid the way it was lined up there. And obviously that's something that games in the future from this game perfected it a little more. But for a start to a franchise, they did pretty well with that, I thought. Another thing was the characters you get to go with you. I liked most of the characters that you get on your team. And you did get, well, you got 8 people, which that's not a small party, but it's not that big either. So you got to utilize each of them a little bit. Some of them I didn't utilize as much as others, especially once I got to transformations with Karn, because then you would just keep like Bow and Ox as part of his transformation, so you weren't really using them, I guess, after that. And Magu, I didn't really utilize, mostly because he just had such low HP. I didn't want to put that in my party and have him getting wiped out too quickly. But other than that, I liked the variety of characters and the way they were written to the game. Going along with that, I thought they did a very good job at making each character have unique abilities and something to contribute to the party and to the gameplay. Like Nina could be your transportation after she got the ability to fly. You needed Magu to dig in those patches and even to access some areas. So even though you didn't get him very early, as far as compared to some of your characters, you needed him to get through the game. Same thing with Gobi. You got the big fish for easy travel underwater, although after we finished the underwater stuff, you didn't really have to go back there too much, so his usefulness kind of wore out pretty early. But you didn't need him to cross that trench in the underwater part, so once again, they made a use that you had to have him. Didn't really like his character as much the way he was written, because he was kind of a greedy asshole, but it's okay to have characters like that too. They can't always be the, heroic, I'm always going to do the right thing kind of guy. That gets kind of old too if they're all written that way. Another thing that I liked was the variety of magic abilities that you had. We just had 2 characters mostly that use magic. I know Bo had some, and like Ryu got his transformations, but that was like learned abilities. I didn't really consider that to be as much like magic. Same thing with Karn. They were abilities, but like Nina and Blue were the ones that were spellcasters. And it's like Nina was the white mage, basically, and Blue was the black mage. wizard, I guess, however you want to say it. And they did have a pretty large stockpile of spells, but they had a good variety. You get all the elemental spells in for blue. You got the healing and buffs and all that for Nina. So I'd put that saying that I liked that, but that also leads into one of the things that I didn't really like that much about it. I felt like maybe the magic could have been condensed down a little bit because you got so many spells that you didn't really, with the way I play, you just didn't end up using some of them very much, if at all. And I guess that's okay because different play styles and different people might like different spells, so you give people a variety. So overall, yeah, I consider that a positive, but like I said, I can see some negative in that as well. Another last thing I want to touch on as far as things I really liked were the items in the game. I felt like there was a pretty good utility of different items you could use, different variety. The only thing is, they weren't always that intuitive as telling you what they were, what they did, but at least they did have the item, that question mark command, so it would tell you what they do. So they kind of took care of that way. And I suppose one negative aspect about the items was that, like, the items you used in battle, those got worn out or became pretty obsolete fairly quickly. Like those stones that we kept picking up that I saved for the most part. Tried to use some of them towards the end, and yeah, they just weren't worth using by that point because they were much weaker than, like, even my physical attacks for my spellcasters were at that point. With that, I'm going to switch and talk about some of the things I didn't like as much. Not saying that they made me hate the game, obviously I don't. I still like it. But these are some of the things that kind of annoyed me, or I wish they could have done a little differently. One of the main ones was in certain dungeons and areas, the encounter rates were kind of ridiculous. I know they did that a lot in some of these older games, and it's more excusable in some than others. Like, there were parts of this game where it was like every 3 or 4 steps I was taking, I'd get into another battle. Now, in some ways that can be okay because, well, if you had to get in so many fights just progressing through the game, at least you never had to stop to really grind or anything. I never really did any of that, except for like the very beginning of the game. I did that for a little bit. But otherwise, we pretty much just kept going, and I just pretty much fought everything that I came across. So, I don't know. It's just a matter of balancing, I suppose. But yeah, if I was just trying to make progress through an area, it got a little annoying at times that the encounter rate was so high. And I know some people would probably say to that, well, that's one reason they put in things like the Marble 3. And yeah, I appreciate the fact that they put that in there so that if you didn't want to fight battles, you could just use one of those, and it took away random encounters for a short period of time. And I did utilize that a few times. So yeah, at least they had that in there. So I guess they understood that could be a thing for some people, or that sometimes you might not like the encounters. You could just skip them. Another thing, kind of goes in line with the encounter rate and everything, was enemy variety. Now, don't get me wrong, there were several different types of enemies in the game, and that's fine and all. But in some of the areas, especially the ones with the high encounter rates, like I'm thinking mostly freshest in my mind is the cave to Bleak. You just kept running across the same enemy or same group of enemies over and over again. It seemed like they could have done a better job at balancing that out. Like, there might be 5 different enemies that you could encounter in an area, but you just generally kept running into the same 1 or 2 enemies out of that group. I wish they could have balanced that a little better. It might have made it a little less repetitive, a little more enjoyable for some of those areas. And this kind of got eliminated after you get Nina to transform into the bird. But another small complaint I had was once you get the map and you can actually look at the world map, it really doesn't have much detail as far as telling you where things are. Like, you can see that there are some villages on the map, but it never really showed any caves or any of that kind of stuff. And like, even a lot of the islands and stuff, they weren't even shown on the map. So that's just a small thing that I think they could have done a lot better. And I suppose when they did the Game Boy Advance version of it, they probably put a mini map available that you could see on your screen. And I suppose that would have fixed some of that. But as far as this original version, that's one thing that I wish they had spent a little more time on, maybe. But that might just be me. I don't know. And I was talking a little bit about it before when I talked about how I like the characters and the number of characters you get, but a critique I have on that is that some of the characters really weren't as useful as others. Like, I'm thinking mainly like Gobi and Agu. Like, even though you didn't need their skills to progress through the game, they weren't really that useful in battle, and you didn't really use their skills that often. I feel like they kind of got pushed to the side a little more. I don't think it would have taken that much to, to add them in a little more and expand on their story, I guess. And I had already talked about it a little bit, but I made a note on it that with the magic, even though it was really good and I liked the way they had it, yeah, they just had too many spells, I think, for some of that stuff. But like I said, that might just be a matter of play styles, and it's fine to have it in there, because if I didn't like them, I could just not use them. Okay. The last thing I wanted to say is that much as I like the game and the characters, I felt like the story probably could have been a little more fleshed out. I know part of that's probably a limitation of the system, and it was the fact that it was the first game in the series, they were just starting it out. But I think they could have added more. Like, you didn't really know much about Zog and Jade and all that. Like, they had a few appearances, but you didn't really get too much of, like, why they were doing what they were doing. I mean, just saying that they're evil, maybe? I don't know. Like, they thought that the world needed a strong leader to try to make everything better. And who knows? I mean, in cases, maybe that wasn't the worst idea. Especially for Zog. Jade, I don't know exactly what his motivations were. Was he just trying to take the Emperor's place? Couldn't really tell from that. Anyway, if I had to give a rating for this game, I don't know. It'd probably be somewhere between a 7 and an 8 out of 10. Pretty high up there, but certainly not as high as something like Chrono Trigger or even Super Mario RPG. It probably isn't as high as those for me. But I still enjoy the game, and I'll go back and play through it, every few years. It's been a little while since I played it, but still enjoyed going through this. Now, if you haven't played it yet, I would definitely recommend you give it a try. Now, as far as what game I'm going to try next on this part, I think we'll just go ahead and move forward to Breath of Fire 2 in this time slot. So we'll go ahead and pick up with the first part of that one starting tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you come back or go back and watch some of the other ones I put up on the channel here. And if you have enjoyed the content, please like, comment, and subscribe or follow. And we'll catch you next time.